real problem is just fixing this housing here so we can actually stick her in there. That's going to be the tough part. Now the tricky part is all up in here. My finger ought not go in there, but my finger do go in there, and that's because this here aluminium is completely gone off there. So the tricky part on this one is going to be trying to fix all this here damage. I see my, ooh wee, that ain't going to be pretty. My shaft's all skin up, so I'm going to have to slick her down a little bit. And then I got to patch this up so I can put a Earl seal back in it without breaking anything. So it's going to be all slicker now shit. You won't want to grip onto the epoxy. So to re-contradict that, what I'm going to do is maybe heat it up and try to splooge that oil on out of the metal. And then we'll go from there. So it's quite a mess we're dealing with here, but gotta take them as they come. So my shaft is a little rough, and before I get too much further in here, I've got to clean my shaft off and get rid of all those bumps, risking to cut the Earl seal off again once we put her back in there. This is how you fix problems right here. Good old slander paper. Just trying to get all them there burrs off. And you might worry about this metal going down in our engine, but I think there's bigger problems to worry about here with like a broken case and all. Anyways, metal's a lubricant if you do it right. So I'm just gonna lubricate this with powdered metal. Alright, well that damn 120 did the trick. So I'm gonna pull on out some of this damn 220. Put a finishing polish on her. Now we need to just slick it up. Well, who knows? That might not do a damn thing, but it might do it too. You don't know till you try it. So there's about what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if this is related to the carburetor, but you know, I've never had any bad things come out of a little bit of carburetor cleaner, so I'm gonna just get a little bit in here. Everything's connected somewhere, so hell, this has got to go somewhere important. If nothing else, it's going to get that metal down into the engine where it can lubricate better. I shouldn't have to tell anybody, but don't try any of this, because obviously I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I like to work on these projects like this where they're so screwed up. You ain't got nothing to lose. How are you gonna make this one any worse? The dadblamet thing's done been broken already. So what on difference does it make? So what I'm noticing here is we got a couple little burrs. Them burrs are gonna cut up that seal when that seal goes on there. And You know, we don't want to do that, so we got to get them burrs off. We're just going to try to get a little bit more of that aluminum down up in there so it'll lubricate a little bit. Ooh, wait. Wash it on down in there. Alright, now I got my dribble out. Whew. Get her done. Alright, so what I did is I put a little bit of the camphor on there. Wash all that metal back down in there. Give it some good lubrication. Alright. Now, we should just take a little gentle tap-a-roo-roo and it'll be back in there. That'll do her. Just park her and see if she leaks. So give her a little more drink of acetone. She looks thirsty, so you gotta give her a little bit. That'll make it work good for her. But put good stuff on there. So I'm gonna let it sit like that, and I'm gonna tear them hot wings up like I ain't never ate before. We'll be alright. Alright, so this is one of those cool ass straws, the little pre-mix in here. And now, there should be enough material here that's going to seal up. But just to be safe, now that the seal's installed, I'm going to fill in a little bit from where this case was broken with this here Defcon epoxy. And if all goes well, we ought to end up with a little bit of a oil tight seal and be right back in the game. Well, I don't know if you can see there, but I think I done pooed the screech on this. I backwashed a little bit of my black epoxy up into my clear side, so this here too is gonna be shot once this job's done. Hadn't seen that happen before, but I guess I goofed. Now she's starting to set up. Looks like we can go ahead and get her all buttoned up back together. We'll take it from there.